Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
Today we are going to be talking about something that I know a lot of you are really interested in, AI.
Yeah.
AI and content creation, and how it's changing the entire landscape of content creation.
It really is.
So we've got a whole bunch of different sources here
Yeah,
about how to stand out online in the age of AI.
absolutely.
When AI writing tools can just pump out so much content, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and it really is a challenge now.
It really is a huge challenge.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that really struck me when I was looking at all this stuff was this explosion of AI content. It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
On the one hand, it makes content creation easier in a way.
sure.
But on the other hand, it leads to this massive influx of just generic, forgettable content.
Yeah, and one of the sources made a really good analogy comparing this generic AI content to fast food.
Oh, interesting.
It's quick, it's easy, but it's not exactly a memorable experience. And just like with fast food, when everybody is serving up the same thing, it's tough to stand out.
Yeah.
So,
So it's kind of like we're just drowning in a sea of AI-generated blog posts and everything.
in a way, yeah, but I think there's a silver lining here because this oversaturation could actually be a good thing in disguise.
Oh, how so?
It might actually force us all to kind of raise our game a little bit
Right.
and refocus on quality over quantity.
So you're saying that if everybody's putting out kind of the same bland AI-generated content, then wouldn't people be more drawn to something that feels more authentic and more human?
Exactly. Like if you're walking through a crowded market
Yeah.
and you're just bombarded with all this generic stuff,
Yeah.
and then you come upon the stall with like these handcrafted goods with a
Mm.
story behind them.
Yeah.
That's what's going to catch your eye.
That's what's going to make you want to buy.
Exactly.
And that's just a blog post, right? It's like I'm seeing this everywhere. I'm seeing it on social media. I feel like I've even seen AI-generated scripts for videos and things like that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And one of the articles I was reading even talked about how there's this funny little quirk with AI writing tools. They've started overusing the word delve.
Delve.
Yeah, in medical papers.
Oh, really?
It's like this little telltale sign that AI was involved.
Oh, that's funny. I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of standing out online, another major challenge, I think, in the AI era is this changing landscape of SEO.
Absolutely.
Because now Google is using AI to answer queries directly on the search results pages.
Right.
So people don't even have to click through to your website anymore.
It's a huge change, and a lot of businesses were really not prepared for it.
Yeah.
One of the articles actually brought up NerdWallet as an example.
Oh,
They're
sure.
a financial advice platform,
Boy.
and they saw their organic traffic plummet by like 15 to 18% in a single quarter
Wow.
because of these changes.
That is a huge hit.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that old playbook of just stuffing keywords into your content just isn't going to cut it anymore.
No, not at all. I think we really need to be thinking beyond keywords now.
Yeah.
And really focusing on building trust and authority.
Yeah.
It's almost like, building a reputation in a community.
Right.
It's about providing real value, establishing yourself as a reliable source.
So how do we do that in this new world of AI-driven content?
Well, first of all, I think we need to recognize that Google and people in general are becoming a lot more discerning. They're not just looking for information anymore. They're looking for content that's engaging, that's trustworthy.
Right.
And that's where I think the human element becomes so crucial.
Yeah.
Think about it. Would you rather get your financial advice from some generic AI-generated article or from an actual financial expert who's sharing their own personal insights and experiences?
Well, I think probably the expert.
Exactly.
Like that handcrafted versus mass-produced thing again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where the power of authenticity really comes into play. Even before AI became kind of this dominant force in the content world, we were already seeing this shift towards more authentic content. Like think about the rise of platforms like TikTok and YouTube.
Oh, absolutely. Video content has just exploded in
Yeah.
popularity. And I think it's because it feels so much more real and personal. You get to see the creator's personality and their quirks, their passions. It's like you're getting a glimpse into their world.
Yeah. And that's exactly what makes it so compelling, right? It allows for that level of human connection that you just don't get with written content, especially when AI is doing the writing.
Yeah, there's just something about seeing someone's face, hearing their voice, that builds trust in a way that reading text just can't,
Right.
even if it's well-written text.
It taps into our human desire for connection.
Totally.
We're social creatures. We crave those interactions, even if it's happening through a screen.
So how can businesses tap into that? How can they create content that really stands out from the AI crowd and connects with their audience?
One powerful way is to focus on what we call personality-driven content. And this is where podcasts and videos can be so effective, especially longer form
Oh,
ones.
yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. Because with longer form content, you have the time and space to let your personality shine through. You can tell stories. You can share anecdotes. You can express your opinions. You can really, you know, it's like inviting your audience in for a deep conversation rather than just a quick hello.
I love that analogy. It's about moving beyond just presenting information and creating an experience.
Yeah.
Think about some of your favorite podcasts or YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Chances are you're drawn to them not just for the information,
Mm,
but also for the personalities of the hosts.
100%. It's like they become your friends, the people you turn to for advice or entertainment or even just a sense of companionship.
Exactly. And that's the kind of connection that businesses need to be striving for. So how can you inject more personality into your videos? Well, instead of just sticking to a script, why not give your team the freedom to improvise a little? Let their natural charisma come through.
Yeah, and I think even like having them film in a setting that reflects their personality
Yeah.
or their brand's vibe,
Yeah.
make it feel less corporate and more human.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be perfectly polished either. Sometimes those imperfections, those moments of spontaneity, that's what makes it feel real.
So does this mean that we should ditch AI altogether?
Not necessarily. I think AI can still be a valuable tool, especially for those more routine tasks like research or data analysis or even generating a first draft.
Right?
It can help us work more efficiently.
Yeah, it's like having a really efficient assistant.
Yeah.
You get to do all that grunt work so you can focus on the bigger picture stuff.
Exactly. But I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. And one of the sources I was looking at made this great point that AI can generate facts, but it can't replicate wisdom.
Ooh, that's good.
You know,
Less like that.
it can't capture those nuanced insights
Mm.
that come from real world experience, from human relationships, from actually grappling with life's challenges.
And those are the things that really resonate with people. People
Yeah.
want to hear stories. They want to connect. They want to learn from other people's experiences. I mean, even just think about case studies.
Mhm.
They're so powerful because they offer these real world examples of how a product or service has actually helped someone.
Absolutely. Case studies, personal anecdotes, even just sharing your opinions on a topic. These are all ways to inject that human element into your content.
Yeah.
AI can't tell you what it's like to overcome a personal obstacle or achieve a dream.
Right.
Only you can do that.
This is all so insightful. But where do we go from here? What does the future of AI content look like?
Well, AI is definitely here to stay, and it's only going to become more sophisticated. But as AI continues to evolve, I think the importance of that human touch, of authenticity, of genuine connection, that's only going to become more pronounced.
Right.
We're already starting to see this push for transparency with AI-generated content. In fact, some experts believe that regulations are coming. That would actually require disclosure of any AI involvement in content creation.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. It makes you wonder if we're going to have like a full-blown AI content authenticity movement, kind of like we had with organic food and sustainable products, like people wanting to know that the content they're consuming is genuinely human-made.
I think that's a real possibility. Consumers are becoming much more savvy about AI, and they're going to demand more transparency and authenticity from the brands that they interact with.
Okay, so to bring this all together, what are the key takeaways for our listeners today? What do you want them to remember from this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is that AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic bullet for content creation. It can't replace that human element. It can't replace creativity or storytelling or genuine connection with an audience.
In fact, it's almost like the rise of AI makes those human elements even more important.
Exactly. In a world that's increasingly driven by algorithms and automation, it's your humanity that's going to make you stand out. It's your unique perspective, your voice, your ability to connect with other people.
That is such a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's like a reminder that even in the age of AI, it's those human connections that really, truly matter. It's interesting because when I first started learning about AI content, I was a little intimidated,
Yeah.
like a little scared.
Yeah, I can see that.
But actually, this deep dive has been really encouraging.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to get caught up in that fear of being replaced. But I really see this as an opportunity for us to redefine what it means to be a creator,
Yeah.
to kind of step up our
To
game.
use it to our advantage, right?
Yeah.
Instead of seeing it as a threat.
Exactly.
So let it enhance our creativity and
Right.
free up our time to focus on the human stuff.
Total.
One of the things that really stuck with me was this idea that AI can generate facts,
Right.
but it can't replicate wisdom.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Like, it can't really understand what it means to be human.
Absolutely. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. It can't replicate those things like empathy or intuition or emotional intelligence.
Those are really the things that make content impactful, right?
Exactly.
The ability to connect with people,
Right.
tell stories that resonate, offer insights that inspire.
It all comes back to that human connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that will always be valuable,
Yeah.
no matter how advanced AI gets.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive here, what's the one thing you really want our listeners to walk away with today?
In a world that's increasingly driven by algorithms and automation, don't forget this: your humanity is your superpower.
Ooh, I like that.
Embrace it, cultivate it, and let it shine through in everything you do.
That is such great advice. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into AI and content creation. We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic to explore. Until then, keep creating, keep connecting, and keep it human.
Thanks for tuning in, and if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on the latest in tech and AI.